Just a brief notion before you watch this video. This video contains spoilers. Don't be worried.
Watched Zombieland Double Tap, and I'm here with my friends Jacob and Jared, and it was a really good movie.
I mean, you gotta nut up or shut up. One of the two.
Drugs cost money.
I know you love Bill Murray. Come on, Jared.
Best end credits scene ever.
Always best end credits scene. You got Bill Murray in his element. You're fucking happy. Like,
I have a feeling I'm going to start doing some editing on learning how to do censorship.
you don't want. Okay. I got you. I mean, this is a movie that's literally rated R. How
I know.
can we not curse?
I know. It's just I just want my videos to all flow the same way.
Fair enough. I'll watch it from here on out. But okay, first initial thoughts to the intro. What'd you all believe? When it first starts rolling in, they talk about Zombieland, and they start going between the Homers and the Hawking zombies.
I think it's good that they finally introduce different classes of zombies. I thought that was pretty cool.
I mean, it starts to tie into how all the video games have got types of zombies, and it actually makes you think zombies would evolve in a world where they're, always winning.
Right.
But would they, or would they have died by now?
I mean, that's why you probably still have a couple of zombies that are really stupid, like Homers. I mean, granted, they wouldn't be as stupid as Homers who chased butterflies.
So I guess we should probably, for people who just want to watch the review without seeing the movie, probably explain the different classes.
Okay, there are a few types of zombies you're introduced at the very beginning. Homers, being the stupidest zombie possible, literally had a Simpsons logo pop up as soon as they said Homers.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Hawkings, which are probably the most intelligent zombie at the start of the movie. Very intelligent. I actually really like the scene in which they showcase them at the beginning.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that zombie had to be brilliant to take the eyeball from a scientist to open up an eyeball-specific door.
Which you would think that would have to be a special kind of because there's a special kind of zombie, the fourth kind that's introduced later on. But you would think that kind would have to be a mutated kind also, because
it would have to be the full evolution zombie like we've seen later in the movie.
Mm-hmm, because it's able to actually process thoughts.
And also, they had really great control to be able to bite out the eye without damaging it.
Right.
It was intelligent zombie regardless.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then the third, which I really wish we saw more in the movie, was the ninja. Which
we saw it one. It's a one-off.
Silent,
it's a one-off.
And then instantly attacked when they thought the prey's guard was down. We only saw it in the intro.
Yeah.
I mean, do you count the one on top of the RV as a ninja? I count that as a Hawking.
They yelled out a Hawking right before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was silent.
It was silent up to the point, probably just due to all the gunfire and everything.
Mm-hmm. And Homers came up all the time throughout the movie, and the fourth kind,
3 or 4 times.
The fourth kind was basically what the whole movie was about. So which was called T800,
based off the Terminator.
Yep.
Or
maybe there aren't real classes of zombies. Maybe they're all on a spectrum, and the Hawkings and the ninjas are basically the same thing.
I can see that. Mm-hmm. More of a spectrum. I just really find it funny as you keep going out about the movie, the other name the T-800s are called, and that's the Bolts, like Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Was Usain Bolt popular in 2009?
I mean, I have no idea, but
you
gotta remember
it's 2012 Olympics when he got popular.
Could have had government around for just a little while at least.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
granted, the first movie does kind of break the idea of government surviving. And
right.
the second movie,
and
even more, because they live in the
later on in the movie, they also make a joke about Uber, which was that. When did that become a thing? What year?
That is a really good question, since they joked about it so well.
Yeah,
but it's you just gotta get in a stranger's car.
We knew Uber didn't exist before 2009 because they would have known.
Nah, but
they thought her idea was dumb.
Them changing it was kind of funny. I did like the Uber joke though about you just gotta hop in a stranger's car. Maybe he'll have gum or candy. And it's I always was told to hop in a stranger's car if he has gum or candy. Wow, what a coincidence.
I honestly think it would have been funnier if he had killed her and then they found out it was an allergic reaction.
I honestly love that scene, and I did actually think he killed her. In all actuality.
So once they didn't talk about the nuts, it was I didn't think he killed her then.
She
but before
really
then,
did look like she was screwed up to the point of becoming a zombie. She was doing the whole puking.
It's almost exactly like every other transformation we've seen in the movie.
well, the
The
other
movie
zombies,
did
their
show
faces
a good
didn't
amount of
change that much, and
transformation.
they became zombies almost instantaneously.
I mean, you really
Within
saw
a
that the
couple
most
minutes
in like
of
the
them
Bill Murray
getting
end
bit.
credit scene. This first zombie that changed really didn't change at all. I mean, he kind of did throughout the scene of where he's attacking Bill Murray. His skin.
Yeah, it was
changed.
almost instant.
And
yeah.
Luke Wilson and what's his name?
You're gonna remember his name eventually, but I did really hope they killed her, just because I thought it would have been really funny. Would have been shooting like a baby puppy.
You should edit his name in at the bottom of the video. Whenever.
Yeah, whenever. You
Okay, yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Regardless, though, I did like the idea of killing her. I do wish Tallahassee kind of did because he volunteered. He's like, I would love to. I'd love to kill her, and I think that would be.
I am glad because of like how many like really dumb jokes they make in the movie. I'm really glad they still took it seriously even in this dumb situation because you could tell. I mean, he was somewhat emotionally attached, and that the fact that they wrote in that they respected his wishes or whatever.
I more love that as first time she gets back to their place, she's like, okay, it's either I'm going to do it with you or I'm doing it with the old man because she's been locked in a freezer for a couple of years.
Right.
She's going to either Tallahassee or, pardon my language on that, I just realized.
Yep.
Or she's going to do, Ohio, Columbus. Regardless, I figured that part was hilarious, and I kind of wish he still had a little bit more morals, and then I would have watched Tallahassee reject her and she'd go back to him. That would have been hilarious. He wouldn't have dropped his standards at all for that little thing of no IQ.
Right.
Jared, you're awfully quiet. What are you thinking right now? You trying to think of his name still?
No, I forgot about that.
Okay, what did we think of Berkeley?
His character was really different, and I can't tell like how he would survive like that to this point, anyways.
I think it was all the running, since he's a fight or flight guy, and all he does is run. They talk about running at the end when in Babylon, which I really did enjoy the Graceland scene.
How did Babylon survive so long without even like spike traps or something?
No idea. That city should have died.
It should have died a long time ago, especially with the uprising of like the fourth, the T8 one,
and all the different buildings around it. Like,
and they could have done like the World War Z thing where they
all climb up. Yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole time.
How did they not even find the place beforehand? Just off of all the buildings around it, that like a whole area that they have to like get lucky and see all the zombies were gone originally.
And if you think about like The Walking Dead, which they even make like a reference to when he's reading
he had a comic.
He had a comic book. When you think about like even in the shows, when you have like a civilization like that where like there's no like violence tolerated, you also still have to have people defending the edge of the town.
Their borders, but instead all they had was high enough walls they thought would be safe.
Yeah.
And
well, with these kind of zombies that transform immediately, how would that even?
And they had an RV door as the entrance.
Yeah.
Not even RV, like a Volkswagen bus. How did the Volkswagen bus not get hit at all? Because all you had to do is grab the handle and pull.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have added a lock mechanism on the inside, but it'll eventually break.
Right.
The city just raises a lot of questions. I mean, but in all actuality, I do find that he talked about the Indian blood at the beginning worked all the way till the end of leading the buffalo off a cliff. I thought that was a very funny moment because it actually did at the end.
Right.
Even funnier that there was a Homer that followed all the T-800s and then
that begs the question when I saw that guy, like, what's stopping it from any other kind of zombie from also walking in just like he did at the very end?
I mean, good point, because the others did have to climb up over that wall.
Yeah.
And then were trapped in the fire until the explosion. How did Homer
They just shake it off like it's a joke, like the guy just walks off. It's like, shouldn't that also concern you that something is still getting past your defenses right now?
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, they did sort of tear down the wall.
I mean, probably a little when it exploded. Or at least when, the monster truck hits the top of the thing, it does the backflip because it hits it so hard.
Well, they also, tore down the wall before the fight.
I know, but they still had to climb on top of that container where that wall was.
Yeah.
Since the wall was still on top of the container.
Right.
Granted, there are some unanswered questions probably throughout the movie, but do you have a favorite moment you can at least say about this movie?
Ooh, I like the end credit scene a lot.
End credit scene is probably your favorite scene?
That was so funny.
I mean, that's really high up there on my list. The end credit scene made it really worth.
And you don't expect it to. Everyone was getting out of the theater, and then it just starts. Like you hear you hear a
Jesse
voice.
Eisenberg,
Yeah, you
he's
hear his
just talking,
voiceover.
You just hear Columbus speaking.
Mhm.
The next thing you know, he's like, well, this is for all the people who like Bill Murray. And then he comes on screen, and it's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how the opening mirrored the first one with the Metallica and the slow motion zombie.
Yeah,
movie.
that's a good point.
I like that they kept the movie kind of tied in.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't close at the very end of the movie. They didn't close it off to where they can't make another movie if they actually really wanted to.
Yeah, like they did with the first one.
Uh-huh.
Which, granted, you know, if they do another movie, I'm all for it.
Mhm.
But, you know, as long as they keep it as funny and, you know, like, lighthearted but action-packed as this one, I will be gladly to go spend my money again.
And the title for this one really made a lot of sense. Like, it's a play on words because Double Tap, you know, it's a second movie. And also, it's the whole point of this movie is because they're introducing the T-800s, which take more than 2 taps. So I just thought the naming scheme was really good for this
The
movie.
naming was incredible. I just also like that it also plays into his second rule, double tap.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, I don't think you can really do the third one, which was Beware of Bathrooms. I don't think that one would be a good movie.
That's the third
And
movie.
you know what's... He had so many new rules, because he only had, like, 36 on the last one?
36 in the last one. What was it, 79 in this one? And we don't really get introduced to a lot of them. But when they're comparing between Flagstaff and Columbus's commandments versus the
That
rules,
was so
that
funny.
was hilarious.
That was so funny. What's the name of the... It bothered me so much I couldn't think of the name of the actor, but he's in, he's in, what's the show? Silicon Valley. He's the actor from Silicon Valley. He's also in the Verizon commercials.
He plays Flagstaff in this movie.
He is so
Who is the equivalent of Columbus
Yes.
to Alberta's Tallahassee.
Albuquerque.
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 Regardless, they were very well played. I did like the way they teased them throughout the scene, and then eventually to them turning.
Right.
It's like they were so
Thomas
full of
Middleditch.
themselves. It was
Yes, yeah.
I didn't know his name, but I
Yes, he's a really good actor, and he's one of like the new. He basically ever since he played, he started playing. I forget
Valley.
I forget his character in Silicon Valley. It's gonna bother me.
Richard.
Yes. Ever since he started playing Richard, he just became the best like nerd in a role. That's why he got hired for the Verizon commercials. And now that he's playing a nerd in Double Tap, it's just great role for him. Great role for him. Yeah.
Granted, it was a one-time role.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do feel like Luke Wilson didn't do as good of a job mirroring
Woody Harrelson?
Yeah, Woody Harrelson as he did of Jesse Eisenberg.
I'm just really glad at the end of the movie they didn't do some bullshit.
You're good.
I'm
You're
finishing
good.
it a
It's all
little
good.
bit. But I'm glad they didn't do something cliche like killing Tallahassee.
Right.
They like made you think about it the whole movie, and then I'm really glad they didn't end it with killing him.
Right.
He is like one of my all-time favorite characters in the universe. Out of all 4 of them, or now at this point 6 main characters.
Well, the ones that stayed, who all stayed at
at the very
5.
end. At the very end, it's
Nevada's
5.
the only one.
Nevada's the new added one.
Or Reno.
Reno.
Right.
Not Nevada.
But overall, I have to say, like, he was my favorite character in the first one. I'm glad to see he's not gone in the second. So if there is again a third, we get more Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Beautiful movie.
Really good
really enjoyed. Again, still probably my favorite moment is the comparing commandments to rules. That's
That was
still
so
my favorite
funny.
moment.
That was
As they
so
kept
funny.
going and having more similar ideas.
And when the commandments popped up on the screen, they were in Roman numerals, which is just
Oh my god!
another just
Roman numerals. They looked like they were wrote in stone, just to like
They were
tie
so
in
funny.
a little bit more of the commandments in stone.
Yeah.
It was hilarious because as they compared rules, how close they were, and then Columbus or Jesse Eisenberg was like, "Why didn't I have teamwork as my number one? Like that makes so much sense."
Yeah. Yep. So his number 1 is cardio, which
Makes a lot of sense.
it makes a
in
lot of
this universe.
sense. Yeah.
Granted, Flagstaff's was 29 for cardio, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
It
so.
was way later. And his all about manners policy, which was like Rule 33, I think.
Right.
Commandment 33.
Commandment
That
33.
one was stupid.
Yeah.
And then again, Columbus made his rules before he had anyone to travel with, so it makes a lot more sense running than teamwork.
That's a good point.
Yeah, true. He did start developing his rules, by himself. Like we saw in the beginning of the first one, how, he's at the gas station all alone. And, they keep popping up Granted, I would have loved that popping up a lot more in this movie, but they didn't do it enough to where you could see his rules highlight above his head, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because you saw Limber up when, they're looking down at the RV, which, granted, that scene was hilarious.
The first time they showed the always wear seatbelts scene, do you remember when he slams on the brakes
and Madison flings forward
all
in
the way to the forward.
Slams, and then she goes like, "Oh, she knows the rules. Yeah, there's 79. Are there more?"
Yeah, and then like immediately you see like fasten seatbelt just thrown out there in the front.
Okay, another really good joke. Enjoy the little things, as they were talking about in the beginning of the movie when Columbus and Madison hook up. And they go, how he makes the comment, rule number 1 is cardio. And then Tallahassee goes, I bet she was enjoying the little things.
Rule number 34. No, he just said rule number 34, and then rule 34 pops up on the screen. Enjoy the little things.
And the I in little was shaking back and forth.
That was a good joke.
That was hilarious to see his rules turned against him in such a funny way.
So where are they going to get more guns?
That is a good question.
That is true. That's a good point.
At the end of during the movie, if you enter the city of Babylon, they melt your guns down to make peace
signs
hanging from your necks. It is a pacifist area, of which I'm pretty sure Tallahassee wanted to kill every single one of them because he hates pacifists.
What if he did?
I would have enjoyed watching that. Just him
don't
getting some.
know that he didn't.
We know he didn't kill Berkeley.
Do we?
Granted.
Going into conspiracy theorist territory.
So bad. He was a protective father figure, and then Berkeley was this idiotic kid who had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
Definitely seemed enjoyable, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I like how their roles kind of flourished since the last time we saw them. It makes more sense as they went.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a really good movie. All three of us, we really enjoyed it. And so thank you guys for joining me. I know Jared's been off camera the entire time, but
he's not it's
a choice.
Very shy.
It's a choice. That's the reason why.
I mean, we wanted to give him room.
That much fun.
I mean, you can sit beside him like we're doing.
Well, thank you, Jacob, for joining me.
Oh,
that works.
Yeah.
Here,
and thanks, guys, for